I'm out on Wild Horse Island in the middle of Flathead Lake, and I'm gonna hunt some bighorn sheep. So why here? Why on Wild Horse Island? Because the largest bighorn ram ever found, died of old age, was on this island. So I think there's a pretty good chance there's some big ones still on here. This is a state park, so you can't hunt them with a rifle and put them on your wall, but you can hunt them with a camera and capture them forever. So the strategy is move slow, keep the binoculars working so I can try to spot him before he spots me, so I can get close enough for a decent photo. As a violation of park regulations to feed, pet, harass, or intentionally approach within 100 feet of any wildlife, including horses. So I gotta stay more than 100 feet away. That ain't gonna be a problem. I don't like to get closer than that. That would be really close. Stay away from stuff, especially wild horses, because they can really nail you. You can see there's a deer track. I don't see any tracks of a bunch of sheep yet. Typically these bigger rams should be in a small group of males or by themselves or with another one if they act like they do most places. Obviously this is a completely protected island, so they may not act the same way. Now here's a sheep print. It's much bigger than a deer. You can tell right there. Deer smaller, shaped a little bit differently. Huh, this is like this has water in it sometimes. There's a horse track right there. So the horses do come down here, but that was when this was wet. So obviously this is dried up. I haven't seen anything yet. Yeah, I'm not really sure. It's pretty hot today. So I would think they'd be down in the timber. But they are bighorn sheep, not really deer. So I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go up to the top of this. I think that's the highest point. And then I'm either gonna go that way or that way, down into the timber, and then work my way back around. A lot of major trails going up that big rock face. I don't know if that's a people trail or if the sheep are making that, so. There's a big herd of sheep right over there, bighorns, but they're all females and really young rams. That tells me that they're feeding. They're up and feeding right now, so that means that the rams are probably up and feeding somewhere too, but they're not going to be hanging with that group of sheep this time of year. This isn't a rut. They're going to be off on their own, like I said. So I'm gonna have to keep looking, but they're fairly high up on the slope. I mean, they're coming up to the top here, so that's an indication that these sheep might be either up here already or working their way back up from maybe drinking or something. Oh man, there's even more of them. Let me take a look here. Gotta be 100 there. So if there's that many, there's gotta be a bunch of rams too, somewhere. Try to use my pack as a tripod. I can't get like a super close up from here, but I can just kind of see the whole group. That's what I'm trying to take a photo of. This also tells me that that's a large number of sheep, which means there has to be a lot of rams somewhere. I just was thinking I was looking for just this small group, but there's got to be a lot of them, because those are all young rams and ewes, and each year statistically they're going to have 50% rams. Well, it's got to be about half that many rams somewhere around here. I gotta be careful on this stuff. Right up by these rocks, there's a chance of a rattlesnake. Not as much probably as in my area, a little bit further to the east in Montana, and I know we're on an island, but rattlesnakes will actually swim. They swim with their heads about 6 inches above the water, and they can swim a long ways. Typically, it's easier to find a nice game trail and follow it. It's the easiest route. But you got to keep in mind that game doesn't usually like use one trail all the time. As you can see, there's a trail starting there, one there, and one there. And they kind of disappear in this area. So you kind of go across. It's mainly the difficult areas that they really have a trail that's defined. So I'm gonna take that top one up. Here's a more direct trail. Go straight up. When you're climbing something this steep, you gotta dig the side of your foot in. Man, back when I was young, I could do that no problem. No sense living in the past, huh? Yeah, that's a cliff right there. So far, these rams are proving completely elusive to me. It's got me pretty worried, actually, because of course this video doesn't really do anything without finding one. I don't want to leave without finding one. And I only have today on this island, so far I haven't seen anything other than that big group of ewes. So when I'm glassing, what I'm looking for is a shape. So at long range, you're looking for a back or a head, or perhaps a white tail, because a lot of them have kind of white on their butt. A little bit lighter colored animal. That's what I'm looking for. Look at that. If they're hanging out in this timber stuff, then they're much harder to find. But I can see why they would be because of the heat. So I'll keep my eyes open. There's one right there. I was just saying how they can hide in the timber. There's a ram right there. Let's see if we can get a picture of him. I don't. See if he spooks. He probably knows. Oh, shoot, he saw me. He's just about to run. Probably wait till me get my camera out. Kind of standing behind the trees there. That's too close. Now, so that's a nice one, but that's not a monster. So look at that though. It's incredible. Not afraid of us at all. In fact, he fed right over to us. So I should have a pretty good photo of that one. Wow, that's incredible. Okay, well, there's our first ram. It's got to be like a 70 more on this island. There's got to be one that's bigger than that. So let's get a new battery and see if we can go find one. That was a really cool encounter. Now we got to find his dad. So I didn't go that way, and when you don't go away, then your mind always says, well, probably all the rams are on that side of the island that I didn't go to. Well, shoot. I was kind of hoping to stay on top without going down, but it looks like there's a big cut here, so I gotta go down and back up. I'd have jumped off that 20 years ago. Probably 15 years ago. I got almost through that canyon and discovered I lost my sunglasses, so they're probably back over here where I taking pictures of that ram. So I'm having to hike all the way back to there. Hopefully I can remember exactly where it is. A lot of times places look, when you're out in this stuff, you know, a lot of it looks the same, but I'm pretty sure it was right off the top of that highest peak, because that's where I was at. So this is definitely where I was. The ram was standing right up there, but I don't see the glasses. Oh, there they are. Right behind this twig. Oh, goodness. Good grief. That cost me a half a mile, so a mile, because now I got to go back. But I think I'm going to go back off this way and around, because that way I know what that looks like. That's pretty crappy. This is definitely a unique place where the largest ram ever found could grow old and die of old age. And if you see right here, this is a mule deer, but I don't know whether there's coyotes up here or whether these just are dying of old age, because there's no hunting. So bushwhacking get you stuck. Bushwhacking means you're just going somewhere without a trail. Sometimes you end up with in these places that you're like, crap, now I gotta go like that. So when you step on a stick like this, your foot will slide down the stick, and it kind of puts you in a bad spot. So you want to try not to step on sticks like that. That's for sure. I am covered in so many spider webs from that hill. They're just coating my arms. You can't really get them off either. They just kind of stretch and ping and ugh. All right, now I gotta go up this side. Spider webs. This is pretty sad because there has to be at least like over 75 rams on this island, judging from that herd, and I seen one. So seen a lot of deer. I found some bigger ones. They're like a mile away from me. So there's a big sucker in there, bigger than the one I took a picture of. I just have no idea. I don't think I can make it over there. My feet are shot, and it's all the way back up hill over 2 drainages, but I might try. So you know how I said, if you don't go that way, then that's the way you think all the rams are gonna be. So I didn't go that way, and when you don't go away, then your mind always says, well, probably all the rams are on that side of the island that I didn't go to. Well, that's where they are. They're the other direction from the way I went this morning. When I went up and then I turned to the left and went down the ridge, to the left, they are down the ridge to the right of that. And there's like 6 of them. There's some nice ones and then one hog. I just don't know if I can get over there. You see the far ridge, they're right there on the far ridge, like right there. And that is, I gotta go down through this one, down through another one, up over top, and then all the way back up to the top over there. And they might be headed down, they're headed over the top, so they might be headed down to water, so I'd be chasing them all the way down to the lake. Shoot. What I might do is I might go to the bottom here and then just walk around kind of at the base, at where the trees end, and see if I can meet them coming down. Let's try that. I can't believe it. I mean, they're like right below. I could have seen them easily. I'd have been 200 yards away from where I was this morning. And I knew it. If I went this way, they'd be that way. See if the old body can do it. Dang it, I just zigged and they zagged. Too bad I only have one day, because another day I could go up there and then go down that direction. Probably find them. Look at this. This is a salt lick. It's just salt in the ground. You can see where they've been chewing on it. Chewing on the dirt on the side. So when they're out in places like this, wild animals don't get enough salt from what they're eating, so they have to lick it off the ground. And the places like this where the water is comes down the hill and will sit and then sink in, it'll leave the salt on the top, so they have to eat the dirt basically to get salt. Well, I made it a mile or two. I don't see them. They might have gone up, which is not something my legs are going to let me do again today. No. I don't see them there. So I'm going to go down that way just a little bit further. See if I can see up there. No, it's not in this drainage either. They're not over here. Now I can see a bunch of deer up there, and a deer right over this hill, and 2 deer right there, and a deer up there, and deer bedded right down here below me. A little bit bigger. There's deer everywhere. Not big bucks, I'm surprised. There should be bigger bucks than this too. I mean, these aren't hunted, so I have seen a lot of bones, lots of carcasses. So apparently a lot of them die in the wintertime. Well, I guess I'm gonna go up and over this next one over here, see if I can find them. If they went up, I'm not gonna find them, but if they went down, I might catch them in one of these draws. Well, sadly, it's starting to get dark. Camera light is very bad. I never saw those massive rams again, but I did get a good photo. So here's the best photo I took of a ram on Wild Horse Island today. And even though it's not a world record, it's satisfying to me because I worked hard for that one.